let me start off by saying inspiration is everywhere and you can see it in everything as long as you choose to. However, you are the direct source of inspiration in the same way that you are the direct source of your love, the direct source of your creativity. There are many things that can spark it in you and that can inspire you and pull it out of you. However, that thing, that circumstance, that experience is not the direct source of your creative energy or of your creation. You know, again, things can inspire you, but you are the source. You are the source of everything it is that you create. And in doing that, you kind of have to call your power back from the different situations or the different circumstances or experiences and everything so that you do not allow them to have the power over your life that is unprotected. And in that way, you liberate yourself in mind, body, and spirit because you're not allowing the things outside of you to dictate where it is that your energy flows or where it is that your attention is going or what it is that you're creating. You know, you take it away from external sources and re-implement it, you know, and the internal, it's all intrinsic at the end of the day. It is all coming from you and you are the direct source. I really wanted to talk about social media and the impact that social media has specifically for creatives because I mean you see it all the time. You see it for, let's say, music artists. They have to hit the algorithm. They need to figure out how it is that they can make their stuff marketable and easy to consume and very short consumption like products in order for people to be able to digest it easily and be able to go outside of the link or whatever it is. And you know, you see that in everything. It's like people are trying to make their art digestible and bite-sized for people for social media. And whenever that comes into play, you start almost curating your things specifically for social media, specifically thinking about content, you know, and content creation. There is a reason why I do not view myself a content creator. I say I am a multifaceted creator because it's true. I am. What I create, I do not create specifically for social media. I don't create it with the intention of how many people are going to like it, how many people are going to repost, how many times is this going to get shared. And I think that that can all be applicable in certain circumstances. Like, let's say you own a business and you're trying to promote your business and things like that. But if it's just you and it's your art and it's the thing that you're creating, you don't need to make it easily digestible and marketable for whatever you think you want the audience to be, because you're already envisioning in your mind who it is that you want to be consuming what it is that you're creating. And in reality, you can't control any of that. That is out of your control. And you need to recognize that you are not in control of how people perceive what it is that you create or how people react to what you create. Because again, you are the source and the only thing that you can control is you and the reason why you're doing it. And that's why you have to pay attention to intentionality. Attention to intention and be mindful of the intention that you have behind the things that you're creating. You know, not only art, but just in life in general, because creation is not bound to only art. You know, it's bound to everything, literally every single thing. You create your day as you go. You make it up as you go. So again, in that way, creation is not simply art or curating posts or it is literally tied to everyday life we create in everything we do. I am creating by simply speaking, you know, all of my good into existence and into fruition for myself. That is me creating my reality, and I am still a creator in that. And I don't have to create content to prove that. You know what I mean? The whole thing that sparked this was I seen a post on somebody called Jada Bunny. If y'all know her, then you know. On her story talking about how social media just feels too like oversaturated, you know, with too much information and too much going on. And at that point, it's like,
I don't like the burritos though. You like the just right here next to you, next to Irma. That's it.
when it starts becoming too much and you're indulging too much in social media and in other people's content, you know what I mean, then you can become very overwhelmed and overloaded with just so much that's going on. And it's like, the source of your inspiration should not be solely coming from online sources, people and whatever it is that they're doing. And I think it's good and it's great if it does spark some inspiration from you, but it should not be your prime motivator behind why it is that you're doing what it is that you're doing. You know what I mean? I find inspiration in damn near everything, and I don't feel the need to try and seek it because I allow everything to be. And in allowing and accepting everything as it is and everything for what it is and looking at it through the lens of just what is it in this moment instead of what do I want it to be, what do I want it to look like, you allowing it to be is allowing the process to be organic. And again, finding inspiration in everything because you're not trying to find it. It just is. And you're allowing it to be. I was not fully aware that I would end up here in the heart of my city downtown. And I'm here and I've kind of just been, people watching and watching interaction, the way that people interact with each other under different circumstances and how people approach you whenever you're operating and from a different mind space and operating just overall from just a different space in general. My heart space is renewing itself and I am in a transitionary period of my life, and through that I'm still allowing myself the grace to be and to figure it out as I go and to not force anything and just kind of flowing with it. Again, I find the inspiration in everything. I can look at nature and I find it there. I look at people and the way that they interact and, the interactions that a mother has with their child, for example, and it's like you see it all over the place. You don't really have to look, because it's there. But all it takes is for you to open your eyes and realize it has been there all along. And it is already there because it's within you. And your reality is just reflecting you back to you, because at the end of the day, we're all one, right? We are the same thing experiencing itself through different lenses, through different perspectives and different experiences and et cetera, because we have created an illusion of separation from ourselves, from source, from other people. But recognizing the humanity in each other, and I know this might seem like it doesn't tie into the topic I'm talking about as far as, social media and content and blah, 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 but it really is, because at the end of the day, it's all connected. It's all connected and it's all ties back to the same root, the same thing where it's like, at the end of the day, you don't have to seek outside of you. You don't have to look anywhere and you don't have to question everything. You don't have to nitpick at your creations and trying to make it like, oh my gosh, what will my base, my support, what will they think of what it is that I'm making now? You shouldn't even be considering shit like that. Again, unless, depending on the circumstance, like if you're a business owner or whatever, but just for you, yourself, your main focus should not be what will people think of what it is that I'm doing or what it is that I'm creating. Cause fuck that. You remaining true to your authentic self-expression is magnetic as is. And you don't have to chase people or think that you have to curate things specifically to be digestible for a specific audience in order for it to be whatever it is that you want it to be, because you know what? Shit's gonna be what it is. People are gonna think whatever the fuck they're gonna think about whatever it is that you're doing. Who cares? Stop allowing the power to other people to dictate what it is that you do and what you create for your life and yourself. Because at the end of the day, that does not impact the source. And if you're allowing it to, then that's when you need to call back your power and put yourself in check. Because I have to do that a million times over, putting yourself in check and recognizing that the more that you stray away from your authentic self-expression in order to please an audience, the less magnetic you become, because it's not authentic, it's not raw, it's not you, and it's not what people were drawn to in the first place, and fuck it, if your work is not resonating with a specific audience that you had in mind or anything like that, if your friends aren't supporting you, if your family isn't supporting you, if they're calling you delusional, whatever the fuck, who cares? Genuinely, who gives a fuck? Because the people that are meant to be consuming whatever it is that you're creating, the people that your words resonate with, or your thoughts, or your art, or whatever it is, however it is that you express yourself, the right people are always going to be gravitating towards it no matter what. And it doesn't have to be exactly who you thought it was. It doesn't have to be the people that you thought were going to support you, because fuck it. If they don't see it now, they'll see it eventually, but you don't even have to worry about that because you're not attempting to prove anything to anybody, and you're not curating yourself and watering yourself down to be easily digestible for anybody, because fuck it. If you feel in your body that what you are doing does not feel in alignment with your highest self, it's not organic, or you question why it is that you create from this space, then sit on it and reflect on it and give yourself grace and allow yourself to do so. Give yourself the space away from the distraction, even if the distraction is you doing the work, because sometimes you have to be able to step back from a project or whatever it is that you're creating in order to see it through a fresh lens, through fresh eyes, from a new perspective. Even if you're still looking at it and it could be looking exactly the same, it's not going to look the same in your mind's eye, because you're allowing yourself the space to step back and look at other things and find inspiration in other things, and then you come back to it, and you can do it from a space of wholeness, of not trying to fill in a void of whatever you're trying to fill. When you master the art of creating for the sake of creating without thinking of what is the outcome going to be, or what's the reaction going to be, or how are people going to respond to it, or whatever it is, you gain so much peace, especially as an artist, especially as a creator, in whatever you do, because you're not trying to satisfy people who truthfully you could never fully satisfy, at least not every single person, and that's okay. And you have to find peace with that reality, because you can't satisfy everybody, and your intention should not be to satisfy everybody. It should be to satisfy yourself in what you're creating. At the end of the day, whatever you're doing, it's an outlet for you. At least you would think it's an outlet. If you're doing it, off your own time, then it's an outlet, and you shouldn't try and force it to be marketable, or force it to, pump like just production and da 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 da, because you are not a machine. You're a human being. And in order to create in authenticity and organically, you have to allow yourself to be. And you have to allow yourself the space to really sit with yourself and root yourself in the present moment. And again, look at it through the lens of that perspective. Not through the lens of other people's perspective, or what you think that it is, or assuming what it is that their perspective is. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's about you and how it is that you feel about what it is that you're creating. Going back to the reason I don't call myself a content creator, because I don't create for the sake of making content. Social media is a tool, and it's an outlet for you to share your creations, but it is not meant to be the reason why you're creating. And of course, that truth can resonate different for different people. If it doesn't resonate, then don't take it. You don't have to take my words if it doesn't resonate, because, like I said, I'm not trying to make it for a specific set of people. I'm making it for the people that it resonates for. And if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, that's okay. Leave it be. You don't have to take it if it doesn't feel in alignment with you and your truth. And honestly, I feel like labeling yourself as anything other than simply a creator can really almost limit you in a lot of different ways that you don't realize. Because as a child, having different outlets and whatever you wanted to do, if you didn't know what you wanted to do and you were like me, you played multiple instruments and you colored and you sang and you were like, I want to do everything. I'm gonna do everything, Returning back to that aspect of self, and of course that may resonate differently for different people, because not everybody has the same experiences, but in my experience at least, when you add a label onto yourself, if I simply present myself to other people and all I say is, I am a model, I am a poet, I am a writer, I am a public speaker. If I don't say every single thing, I say one, I just say that. It takes away from the rest of you. What else do you do? What do you do when other people aren't looking? And what do you do for the sake of yourself and not other people that you just don't show other people? Who cares? Allow yourself to be vulnerable, at least with yourself first, so that you can be able to offer people that same amount of vulnerability, because vulnerability is a strength. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Being able to be vulnerable and to be very brutally, not even brutally honest, but to be transparent, not only with yourself, but offering other people in your life, in your connections, that you make that same level of transparency, makes everything, like, again, you are magnetic, because you don't have to force yourself to be anything. You don't have to force yourself to fit into a category so that it makes sense in people's mind, so that you can be whatever the fuck it is that they envision you to be. You don't have to, make yourself down and water yourself down and make yourself easy to consume and easily digestible so that other people can understand it. Fuck it if they comprehend it and if they don't. Who cares? Do it for you. Say every single thing that you are, everything that you do, even if it's just a small thing, even if you're not mastering it, if you're trying, if it's something that you care for, if it's something that you like doing and you create it, then fuck it. Say it. Don't just say, oh, I'm just a content creator. Why do you do it? Why do you create? Why do you create what you create? Sit on that, because sometimes it can be coming from places and you don't even understand where it is that it's coming from or why it's coming. You know what I mean? And you have to really be willing to sit with yourself and to reflect on it, to allow it to be, so that you can again look at it from a new lens instead of looking at it from the same kind of tainted vision that you have. And not saying that everybody's vision is tainted, but like, at least to reflect on it, at least think about it a little bit and allow yourself the space from outside influence and outside perspective, because, you know, again, your vision becomes tainted and you won't be able to see it all for what it is. So therefore, I don't label myself as anything. I just am. The I am literally runs everything it is that, like, is behind me. That's my driving force, the I am. Because I don't have to be anything. I just am. I am everything. And in that, I free myself from stressing myself out trying to fit a box or trying to fit a mold or trying to fit the concept that other people view me in or the lens that other people view me in. There's people that have met me and they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're a content creator. No, I'm not. I'm not a content creator. I'm just a creative. I'm just a creative. And I use social media as a tool and as an outlet to share these creations with the world and my community so that they can be able to see and interact with it in some type of way, shape, or form. But I am not creating for the sake of making content for what I'm creating, because I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Honestly, I feel like sometimes it takes away the joy in what you're creating when all you're focused on is how much can I make from this? How many interactions will this get? How much can I make from how many interactions this get? Like, it kind of takes away from the process and from the joy and the play of it. At the end of the day, creation is just play. And approaching creating from that energy of play instead of survival mode and just living through it and living, breathing art, you become so free. And there's no other way that I can explain the type of healing that comes behind liberating yourself in that way, because no words can amount to what it is that it actually is. And you know, sometimes words aren't meant to amount to it. It's simply a way of being. It's not a feeling. It's just a way of being. And it's so relieving to be able to operate again from that state of being instead of survival, instead of, you know, a tainted lens or anything like that. And I am incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly grateful for every single opportunity that finds its way to me, no matter what it is, no matter where it's coming from, because it comes from every single direction, because I am a magnet. I am a magnetic force. So all that is meant to me is automatically, it's already on its way to me. Like, it's already there. And I'm walking the direction that I'm meant to be in. And I'm going through all of the motions, and I'm okay with stopping and slowing down for the journey, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to make it to the same point. I'm still going to make it to the same destination that I was already going. It's just, I don't have to stress about how I'm going to get there, because I already know I'm going to get there. So I don't care how I get there, because I am doing right in my mind and my body and my spirit. I am moving in alignment with my highest self. And in that way, I cannot fail in shit that I do. I don't fail. I don't care how it is that it looks. If it doesn't look perfect, if X, Y, and Z doesn't agree or doesn't, you know, who cares? Because I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not doing it for anybody else at all. Moral of the story: stop giving away your power and paying too much attention to other people's perception of you, of what you create, thinking that they're gonna, like, nobody is gonna understand your life more than you, understand your perspective more than you, and you're not meant to get into anybody's head and manipulate their perception of you, or the way that they view whatever it is that you're creating, because, you know, like, that's just it's not possible. It's not possible, and you can't control it. And thinking that you can is delusional. Allow it to be. Allow yourself to be. Allow everything to be organic. Go back to the source if you have to. Figure out why it is that you create. Why do you create what it is that you create? See if you can find other outlets to express the same exact thing that you're attempting to express. I'm a writer. I'm a public speaker. Sometimes I go to painting to express things that words just cannot fill, you know, or resorting to, I don't know, music, random things, because it's about playing. Like, if you are a creator and you're a creative, you don't have to limit yourself to one outlet, to one, like, just creating content and that being the end of it. No, like, you can literally do anything. Just stop limiting yourself by labeling yourself as whatever the fuck. Don't label yourself. Move without the label and figure out how it is that you operate in that space when you're not bounding yourself to anything. Because you are boundless. You are bound by nothing, so long as you know you are. You are infinite. I am infinite. You are infinite. At the end of the day, we're just reflections of each other. I am a mirror to your light. And again, if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, don't take it. Please don't take it. I don't want you to take my words if you feel like it doesn't resonate for you, because, you know, what serves me might not serve you best. What serves you might not serve me best. And that's okay. I accept that. I'm just offering my piece on my outlet, my platform, in the way that I know best, which is sometimes manifests itself through me speaking. Just speaking out loud, speaking to nobody in general, but speaking to everything at the same time. Because, again, power of tongue, everything it is that I'm saying, I am literally creating for myself, because creation is not bound to just one thing, or two things, or even three things, or four things, or five things. It is everything. It's in everything you do, and it's in every aspect of our life. And accepting that and becoming aware of it enough to be able to be not in control of it, but being just aware enough to move with intentionality is so important. And it really changes everything to you. It changes your whole trajectory, and everything it is that it comes after it. And I'm just so grateful that these are things that I'm able to understand and I'm able to offer back to the community that's behind me, or to friends, or to anybody. You know, any piece of information I feel like should be shared with whoever it is that you can share it, even if your outlet is, you know, social media, this being a tool. I'm allowing it to be a tool for me to be able to share exactly this life. And for that, I am extremely grateful. I'm grateful, and I move with love. I lead with love. I lead with intentionality. And I'm so grateful to be here, and to be now, and to be offering this back to you. Much love. Peace be with everybody who is viewing at the moment, or any moment that you decide to. I hope this resonates, and if it doesn't, don't take it. And I love you. I love you. I love you every single day. I love you. Today and always, you are blessed. You are divinely guided, blessed, and protected, and I am grateful.
Time